Hello everyone, this is Nick, and just a quick little message before we get into the latest vlog. It is just after 4 a.m. on January 31st, 2018. And I am getting ready to finish the last vlog of 2017. So I'm about a month behind. Kind of got into a deal where I just wanted to show every single session of poker that I played during December. Winning obviously helped me want to do that more, but I don't think that's something I can continue to do. I'll just get further and further behind. So just wanted to put a message out there that I'm going to try to condense a little bit more so I can kind of keep more current. There is one trip coming up in the January vlogs that's going to be really cool. Some buddies of mine, Devin, poker dealer at the Kansas Star named Damon, we all went down to Choctaw for a WSOP event, so that'll be on there. But the rest of the sessions coming up here in the vlogs will be condensed a little more. But without further ado, we'll get back into the final vlog of 2017, New Year's Eve.
Mama, I'm coming home.
Too damn cold to be doing this all the time. I gotta get this tire fixed.
Alright, we are just pulling into the old K-Star. It is 5:36 p.m. this New Year's Eve, so definitely last poker session of the year at the old home stomping grounds, the K-Star. Not sure how long we want to stay. Thought about going out and doing something for New Year's Eve, but Danielle has to work, so she's just going to go to bed like regular. So I am going to play a little pokes and try to wrap off the year on a high note. Did not get squirrely in Kansas City, and hope that I will produce no monkey business this evening either. I had definitely been getting squirrely and producing much monkey business after my pretty decent win streak I had going there, and we need to keep a stop put to that, because listen, this is 1-3 no limit hold'em in the Midwest, and if you don't get squirrely and if you don't do stupid stuff, they give you the money. You just have to be patient. Even in the dead of winter, 10 degrees outside, Kansas sunsets are absolutely gorgeous. Hampton Inn, Kansas Star. Hello everyone. My friend Kathy gave me these. We are back in the familiar spot. It is now 2018, and at the moment I am $550 poor. How did we get there? Okay, we are no longer at the lobby of the Hampton Inn at the Kansas Star, Mulvane, Kansas. We are at my house. It is almost the end of January, but I completely butchered the first hand history of this session, so we'll do it from here. We are in the low jack with ace of spades, queen of diamonds. It folds to us. We raise it up to $15. A short stacked old woman on our direct left makes the call. She's got about 150 in front of her before the hand starts. The button makes the call as well. And the big blind decides to come along, so it's 4 ways to a flop. Flop is ace 8-3 with 2 hearts. The ace is not a heart. And the big blind donks into us. He donks into us for $20. And here we get a little bit coy. We think that a player to act behind us may be scared of a flush draw and may overplay a weaker ace, especially after we show weakness. We also think that the player on the button may be over aggressive with a flush draw, and that plays into our hands as well. So we make the flat call, and the woman on our direct left decides to rip it all in for 135 bucks. The button folds. The big blind, who let out in the first place, folds as well, and it's left to us. We know this lady. We played with her a decent amount of times. We know she's less likely to be jamming with a flush draw, so we basically put her on a range of ace-10 suited plus and ace-jack offsuit plus, and of course all the sets. So with the price we're getting, we think we need to call it off. We do. We don't improve on the turn or the river, and she shows us pocket threes for a set of threes. Nice hand, Mrs. Vo. A couple hands later, it limps around to me in the big blind. I have king queen offsuit. I make it 20, hoping to steal and maybe thin it down to heads up. No dice. We go 5 ways to a flop. Very similar situation here. King high flop, and I can't quite remember the other cards. They're lower cards. 2 to a flush on board. Of the suit I do not have. Checks to me. I make it $35, and the player to my direct left, who is in under the gun this time, makes it $150. It folded back around to the button. He shipped it all in. I folded. The player to my direct left, the older lady, snaps them off. And I'm not sure what he had, but she shows 2 pair that turned into a boat. So quickly in a hole. And for the next few hours, I just kind of bled down. Ended up getting into the game for 700. Stacked a guy on a set. And won a couple other hands. Got to about 600 at one point. Dropped back down to 550, where the following hand happened. In this particular hand, I am in the big blind. This is hours later. We are down to 6-handed. It is a straddled pot. The small blind completes. I look down at king 2 of clubs. A little iffy here, but 6-handed. I'm not going to fold. Just hopefully it can limp around and I'll bink. This is a limp fold situation for me, really. And I limp. 3 others limp. And the button, who is the straddler, just checks the straddle. So 5 ways to a flop. $30 in the pot. The flop is king 4-6. 2 clubs. The small blind leads out for 12. I decide to call. And a new player to my direct left just sticks out what turns out to be $100. He just kind of grabbed some chips and smashed them out there. Folds back around to me, in my opinion, and we're about 550 bucks deep. I'm the effective stack. In my opinion, I've seen him do this many times. I don't think he's that strong. I think he's got a single pair hand. If I ship on him, he has a chance to fold. I don't think it's a huge chance. And I need all 5 cards to realize my equity. So I ship it all in. He thinks about it, goes into the tank for a bit, and then finally calls. The turn
is a 3, an offsuit 3, giving me a gut shot. The river bricks out. Our opponent shows King Jack offsuit, no clubs, and he's good. So at that point we are felted, and we buy back in for 300. We've managed thus far to work that stack back up to about 450, and I don't feel tired. I don't feel terrible. I feel pretty good, other than, you know, losing. So we're gonna get back in there and maybe play till 3 or 4 tonight, just to see how it goes. I mean, still busy in there, a lot of action. My table's actually great, so hopefully we can run good and not play like crap and win a few more pots before it's time to go.
So we are back here at home for the last couple of hands from this, what really was a wild and wacky, swingy roller coaster of a New Year's Eve session. It is a straddled pot. We are in middle position with King, Queen of Hearts. There are 2 limps to us. We make it 30 bucks to go. Only the button calls. The flop is Ace 9-5 with 1 heart. I think that ace hits my range more than it hits his, and we do have double barreling opportunities. So we go ahead and put the C-bet out. We bet $30. The button makes the call. The turn is a pretty dang good card for us. It is the 10 of hearts, giving us a flush draw and a gutter ball. This time we make it 80 bucks to continue. The button comes along once more, and this is a guy who's been pretty sticky now that I remember it. Has a pretty decent stack. We're relatively deep here. And the river is a low card brick, so we don't improve. We think about betting the 3rd barrel, but we decide to check it on over to him. He checks it back, unfortunately. We just don't think he's gonna fold an ace. And he shows us pocket 6s. Think a 3rd barrel might have gotten the job done on that one. But not to worry, the set gods that were on our side earlier in the month of December came back to grace us one more time in 2017. First hand, we are on the button with a pair of 8s, pocket 8s. There are a few limps to us. We bump it up to 18 bucks. The small blind calls. The player in the under the gun position had limped in. He calls as well. The flop is about as good as you can hope for. 2-7-8 rainbow. So we got the set, and we love it. The small blind leads out. He leads right into us for 40 bucks. So we don't see any reason to slow it down here. We pump it up to 100. The small blind makes the call. Of course, the under the gun player did fold on the flop. The turn is an offsuit 10, and our opponent does not slow down. He bets 150 right into us. He's got about 250 behind. Probably should have just put the money in retrospect, but we make the flat call, knowing that he's going to continue barreling in our own minds. And the river is another 10, so now we have a boat, and he just cramps it all in there for 250 bucks. We snap him off. We fast roll, unfortunately, so we don't get to see his hand, which is what I normally do when I think I have the best hand. But for the vlog, as I've said before, I should start getting people to show their hands a little bit more. But we win a nice hefty pot on that one. And in our last significant hand of 2017, we are in late position with a pair of quackers, pocket deuces. There are a couple limps to us. A tight player in the low jack raises it up to 12 bucks. The hijack makes the call. We make the call as well. And the big blind comes along for the ride. The flop comes 2, 4, 5 with 2 spades. It checks to the low jack, who puts in 30 bucks. Remember, this is a very tight player. We go ahead and make the raise to 80. Folds back around to the low jack. He makes the call. And the turn is the 3 of spades. So there's now 3 to a spade flush on board. If he has any ace, he's got a wheel that already beats us. And there are also, he could have a bigger set than us. Our opponent leads into us again, this time for $100. And we really feel that if we raise, we are only going to get called by better in this situation. We still have, hopefully, boat outs, so we make the call. The turn is about as good of a card as you can hope for. It's the 3 of diamonds. He bets out into us, and we think about raising. We can get called now by flushes, but really we aren't going to get called by much else that we beat. We're obviously going to get called or reshipped on with boats, quads. So we go ahead and maybe it's a little weak type, but we make the call. Our opponent shows us pocket 6s with the 6 of spades, and our hand is good. So could have got a little more value there on the turn. Probably wasn't going to get any more on the river, but we're happy to take down another sizable pot and get on out of 2017, the last session of 2017 with a win. Got in deep, but got out ahead.
Happy New Year, Felicia.
Oh man, I wish I could show you the temperature right now, but I can't. The camera's out of batteries. I'm on the iPhone. It is 0 degrees. It is about 3:30 in the morning. Played for about 10 hours. In for 1,000, out for 1369. I'm freezing. Ooh.
Look at that. 0.
See, I wasn't lying. It's freezing. You can see my breath in the car.
All right, the moment of truth. 10 pounds is going to be a failure. But did I even manage to lose any weight during the holidays? A little over 4 pounds. We'll take.